Hi, Brooke. Just looking at your file here. You did have a couple extra layers, but I'm going to unlock this layer. I did end up deleting them because they didn't appear to be doing much of anything, so I did delete those. So here's your Photoshop face. I think we need to refine the clipping job on this. If I turn the eyeball off on Rainy, I can see this a little bit better. So if we click and hold if you click and hold on the object selection tool, you can find the magic wand tool. You have to hold down on the tool to find the magic wand tool. It's the last one in the flyout menu. And we can click on that background to get that selected, and then we could do a select inverse. And then we could go into select and mask. And then we could get on the brush tool. If your toolbar looks like this, you can always have it match mine. It's the third one down, the brush tool. If you hover over these, they do tell you what they are as well, typically. And I want to subtract from my selection, so let's get rid of this little thing here and subtract that away from our selection. And we could zoom in and this looks like a low resolution image. I don't know if you got this from Facebook or what, but it might not be a high enough resolution image to use. You might actually have to take an image of it. You might have to take a picture of yourself specific for this project. But we could just go around and we could select areas of this. And I think my computer might be freaking out a little bit right now because this isn't really working very well. And then if we use the quick selection tool, you could maybe select all of the black to try and maybe just have it so that we could get rid of the sweatshirt for the most part. My computer is not working very well right now. I think it's just like freaking out a little bit. Let's see, maybe I just need to do minus. Okay, yeah, I just needed to do minus, sorry. Because even I get confused in this software sometimes. But I'm mostly just going over the black of your shirt. So I got on the quick selection tool. I'm on the minus. You could change the size of your brush if you need to, but 13 seems to be decent. So I went too far with that. I can always do a Command Z. I need to bring back pieces of it too, because your hair right here is like missing now. So I need to add that back in. I'm just kind of clicking and dragging over your hair to try and bring that back in. And this might be a case where like the quick selection tool just isn't doing a very good job, and we can experiment with the refine edge tool as well. I think my computer is lagging a little bit. I can tell the performance is just not great. But refining this selection with the usage of these tools, plus and minus, to get rid of the sweatshirt, and actually I would like to subtract this from the selection, probably do a better job. Like I said, my computer's not really, it's like freaking out right now. I probably need to restart it. But so under global refinements, we can use the feather to really soften up the edges too, which will help. We don't want to go too far with the feather, but you know, once we get this clip around your hair looking pretty good and around your neck, and you know, add in these pieces of hair off to the sides, like hopefully you would get it looking better than this. But my computer right now is just not wanting to work with me. And then if we do a layer mask, we can push OK. And you can see that, you know, we could feather out the images of you, and we can get rid of the sweatshirt possibly, and maybe just keep the hair in there, which is, I think, maybe a little bit more successful. Hopefully we could get rid of maybe a little bit more of the darkness at the bottom of your hair. You have very long, nice hair, but and you know, maybe not have quite so much of your hair missing in these areas. Like you would do a better job of it, basically. But that's one way of kind of refining the clipping job on you, which I think needs to be done in order for this to be a little bit more successful. I don't know if it's better without the sweatshirt or not. It might actually be better to erase your whole neck. And also, like I said, this image is kind of low resolution. I can tell when I zoom in on it that it's just not the best quality. So we might actually want to get a whole new image altogether, or make sure we're not pulling things off of Facebook or anything like that. You are in CMYK color. image size. Let's see. So you're not quite the right size here. The resolution is 300, which is great, but you're not 8.5 by, or 11 by 8.5. So we do want to fix that. We want to go to image canvas size, and we want to change this to inches if it's on pixels, and we want the width to be 11, and we want this to be 8.5. Now this is going to shrink your resolution even more because this rainy image and the image of you is going to have to be blown up. So if you have the original image of the rainy rainforest, I would do another file, place embedded, and bring it back in at full size. Hopefully you got this on Unsplash or at full size, or Pexels, P-E-X-E-L-E-S. I wouldn't make this particular image any bigger because it's just not high enough resolution to make it any bigger without it getting super blurry. I almost wonder if you couldn't find another image for the background to layer on top of it. Like maybe if we went to Unsplash and we looked up like cloudy sky, we could get some clouds. Push download. You know, this is more of like a stormy, cloudy sky. This one's more happy. So it kind of depends on, like, this one's pretty stormy looking. This one's pretty stormy. So it kind of depends on what you're going for. This one's quite nice because it has a nice big cloud in it. But for purposes of this feedback video, I think I'll just keep it where I'm at. So file, place embedded. Let's go ahead and bring in that image from our downloads. I'm going to search by date added because I can find it faster that way if I have it on list view, which I do. And then go ahead and push place. That should bring that in. I could do a rotation on this. When you first bring something in, it has this X through it. But if we do this and push shift, we can actually get it at a 90-degree angle, because shift allows you to really have it snap in place. I believe it makes it a little easier to get to 90 degrees. And then we can just, you know, let up on shift and blow this thing up as big as we need it to be. And when we like the size, we can push return. And then on this layer, we want to put it underneath you probably. And we probably want to maybe see what some of these options do in this drop down. You know, some of them might work okay, some of them might not. But basically it's the cloudy image kind of overlaid on top of the rain image. And you know, we could do something like maybe this is one side, you know, and then maybe on this other side you would have more of like a happy image, that you would have kind of that duality of life, like happiness, sadness kind of thing. You could possibly experiment with that. I'm just messing more with the blending mode of the layer again, just to see if there's any other options that look good. I mean, that one's pretty interesting. So, you know, over this image in particular over top of the rain image is not super successful. I like the idea of the rain. I think it's pretty nice idea. Wonder if yeah, so anyway, and the opacity of the layer is here, so we can just experiment with that too. This is awfully kind of a green color, and blue is kind of a melancholy color, so that might work out. But maybe you could experiment with layering a few images on this side, and you do need another clipped image. So you have one now. I'd like you to have one more layer mask. Clipped image that you remove the background on. You know, you could potentially bring in any kind of element that would be possibly a decorative element, possibly like a sun or a moon, or if you want to take it further with the duality idea, things that, you know, represent happiness and sadness. That could be something that you work with. But other than that, I think it's good. I would just refine this clipping on you, possibly work on the background to make it a little bit more engaging and interesting, and then bring in one more element that is actually using a layer mask, or it may be more than that. Like, you can even bring in a couple things. But yeah, so far so good. Just keep working on it. This is due next week, so just spend some time and try and get a little bit more refined of an idea here. All right, we'll talk to you later.